The candy fairy's gratitude. In a whimsical land filled with rolling hills and sweet aromas, there lived the candy fairy, a magical being who brought joy to children with her endless assortment of colorful, delicious candies. Known for her kind and loving heart, she rewarded acts of kindness and generosity wherever she found them. One day, she decided to embark on a special journey to find children with hearts as sweet as her candies. Disguising herself as a frail old woman, she chose a small, charming village named Rose for her adventure. With a tattered shawl draped over her shoulders and a weary expression, she sat beneath a grand oak tree in the village square. Her eyes scanned the bustling streets, searching for someone who might stop to help her. It was a warm afternoon when two siblings, little Tit and Xeon, passed by on their way home from the market. They carried a loaf of bread, the only thing their mother could afford for their supper that day. As they walked past the old lady, Tit noticed her sitting alone under the tree, her face tired and forlorn. "Xeon," Tit whispered, tugging at his brother's sleeve. "Do you think she's okay?" Xeon stopped and turned his gaze toward the old lady. Without hesitation, the two siblings approached her. "Are you all right, ma'am?" Tit asked kindly. The old lady looked up with a weak smile. "I'm hungry, dear ones," she said softly. "I haven't eaten all day." The siblings exchanged a glance. They knew the loaf of bread they carried was meant for their family, but they also couldn't bear to see someone go hungry. After a moment, Xeon handed the bread to Tit, who knelt down and offered it to the woman. "Here, you can have this," Tit said with a warm smile. The old lady's eyes filled with tears as she accepted the bread. "Thank you, my dear children," she said, her voice quivering with gratitude. "You have such kind hearts." She broke off a small piece and began to eat slowly. Once she was done, she stood up, leaning on a wooden staff. "You have done a beautiful thing today," she said. "Kindness like yours does not go unnoticed. Thank you." With that, she turned and walked away, her figure disappearing down the cobblestone path. The mysterious gift. When the siblings returned home, they nervously told their mother what had happened. Xeon explained, "Mama, we gave the bread to a poor old lady who was hungry. We're sorry, but she really needed it." Their mother looked at them for a moment before smiling. "You did the right thing," she said. "Kindness is more valuable than bread. We'll be fine with just milk tonight. Don't worry." That evening, as they sat around their small wooden table sipping cups of milk, a sudden knock at the door startled them. Xeon ran to open it, and to their surprise, no one was there. Instead, a beautifully wrapped basket sat on the doorstep, brimming with colorful candies of all shapes and sizes. A golden letter lay nestled among the treats. Their mother picked up the letter and read it aloud. "To the kind-hearted Tit and Xeon, your generosity and compassion have not gone unnoticed. You gave away your bread without hesitation, and for that, I am forever grateful. May these candies bring you as much joy as your actions brought me. With love, the Candy Fairy." A sweet surprise. The siblings gasped in amazement. They realized the old lady they had helped was the Candy Fairy in disguise. The family gathered around the basket, marveling at the sparkling candies that smelled sweeter than anything they had ever known. But the surprises didn't end there. As they explored the basket, they found a small golden key attached to another note. The note read, "This key unlocks a special door in the forest. Follow the candy trail, and you'll find a place filled with sweetness and wonder." The next morning, Tit and Xeon, with their mother's blessing, followed a glittering trail of candies that led deep into the woods. They walked past towering trees and blooming flowers until they reached a hidden door carved into a giant tree trunk. With excitement bubbling in their chests, they inserted the golden key. The door creaked open, revealing a magical candy land filled with chocolate rivers, marshmallow clouds, and gumdrop hills. The Candy Fairy appeared before them, her true form shimmering like sunlight on water. "Welcome, my kind-hearted friends," she said, her voice as sweet as honey. "Because of your kindness, you are invited to visit my magical land anytime. But remember, this place is a reward for those who show compassion and selflessness." Spreading sweetness, Tit and Xeon explored the candy land, gathering treats to share with the other children in the village. When they returned home, they handed out candies to everyone, sharing the story of the Candy Fairy and her magical kingdom. Inspired by the siblings' actions, the villagers began helping one another more, spreading kindness throughout Rose. The Candy Fairy, watching from her candy castle, smiled with pride. She knew her visit had left a lasting impression, teaching everyone that even the smallest act of kindness could lead to the sweetest rewards. And so, Tit and Xeon became known not just for their generosity, but for their role in making Rose a kinder, happier place, a legacy as sweet as the candies they shared.